Okay, so that definitely my passenger impression right now is just the one. Even though right now that as it like that against Cynthia is about to begin, and even though right now as it like basically now wearing all of its like three Pokemon that gimmicks that was like the Zeering as well as like the Mega Ring, I think like top Mega Evolution basically as well as the Dynamax band. Like definitely my passenger impression definitely that as definitely from that gimmick that as going to use it like that against Cynthia would be definitely the mega evolution gimmick. That's definitely my personal favorite. Maybe like ultimate showdown fight will definitely be like a mega Lucario versus like a mega Garchomp fight. And my personal impressions are like in the 6 versus 6 battle, like definitely like the eventual final scenario that I'm looking will be is that definitely Ash will be finally like the precise two Pokemon that will be remaining on Ash's side will be precisely eventually ending up being that precisely Pikachu as well as Lucario. And on Cynthia's side, like Cynthia's final Pokemon would definitely be Cynthia's Gardevoir. And the reason I'm saying predicting this is precisely because like in the previous episode, like extreme emphasis and importance being uh, given to like the fact that like Pikachu's like Ash's first Pokemon, while Garchomp is like Cynthia's first Pokemon, and the fact that like Ash got like Lucario from like this egg, like this mystery egg, while Cynthia as well got her Garchomp from this egg. Like basically precisely because of this reason, my personal theory and prediction certainly that like the final like in the 6 versus 6 battle between like Ash and Cynthia, like the final Pokemon that will be remaining for Ash will be like with Pikachu and with like Lucario. And like the final Pokemon that would be remaining for Cynthia would be her Mega Garchomp. And I'm definitely think Pikachu should totally be fighting against like towards the ending of the battle, like Pikachu totally fighting against like the Mega Garchomp or like just the basic Garchomp. Like I'm being more towards the positive of like Pikachu totally fighting against not Mega Garchomp, but like Pikachu totally fighting against like the normal Garchomp and Garchomp probably offering and defeating Pikachu. And then like actually sending out to like Lucario. So like both at that point like both Ash as well as Cynthia being down to their last Pokemon and then Ash straight away like sending out to like Lucario and Mega evolving with Lucario and straight away right then like Cynthia totally Mega evolving from Garchomp and then it's like an ultimate showdown battle between like the Mega Lucario versus like a Mega Garchomp in which like a Mega Lucario on the thing would be once again using its like I think like Dynamax kind of like or Dynamax kind of level of like giant or a sphere. That's like this extra special power that Ash and his like Mega Lucario, Ash and his Lucario is having. It's definitely my opinion. So like since like even in Ash's battle against like previous earlier battle against like Raihan as well, like I think like Ash had used like I think Lucario had used it like Gigantamax or like Dynamax version of it like product, but like back then like it was Ash's Lucario and not Ash the Mega Lucario that used that giant or yeah. So like right now the thing towards the end of like the Ash versus Cynthia battle like basically precisely like the scenario that I was looking like Ash like Mega Lucario. This time between Ash's Mega Lucario that will be using like the Gigantamax like version or like the Dynamax version of like or Sphere to defeat like Cynthia's like Mega Gaster. That way, as defeating Cynthia is like the kind of like signature final scenario that I'm going to roll the game of the membership. So like basically in short, like my taking good impression is that like Limbo right now as like current semi-final battle against Cynthia like 6 versus 6 Pokemon battle. Like, still since like in like the previous episode, like it was precisely like Pikachu, Lucario, as well as Cynthia Garchomp that had gotten like the main importance. Like precisely because of that, my taking good impression is definitely that like in just like 6 versus 6 battle against Cynthia, even though like 6 Pokemon would be like fighting off against each other, and still taking the my percentage impression that like it would be only precisely like Pikachu, Lucario, as well as like Cynthia's Garchomp alone that would be getting all that main attention and main spotlight. And that all that importance in like as it was the sixth battle against Cynthia. So that's about to take place right now. It's definitely the eventual scenario that I'm looking at offering another very impression. Okay, so like definitely my positive impression right now as for like Cynthia's decision that Cynthia's really and about like retiring after like Cynthia's battle against Ash. Like I'm considering if that decision, Cynthia might have certainly taken that decision precisely after Cynthia's battle against precisely Iris. Definitely my positive impression. In Cynthia's battle against Iris, the fact that like Cynthia might, my positive theory is definitely that Cynthia might have like started off Cynthia's battle against Iris like while totally underestimating Iris. Solely due to like Iris being like an ex-student of Cynthia. It's definitely my talking to impression. So like Cynthia might have in that battle might have only underestimated Iris, and Iris might have through her battle against battle performance against Cynthia. Iris might have eventually proved that basically Iris is like all that potential that and skills that Iris have. And basically Cynthia, like the fact that like Cynthia was like totally overwhelmed by the impression that towards the end of like Cynthia's battle against as like the Cynthia's battle against Iris started to progress and reached a certain extent, like from that point on, like Cynthia might have definitely gotten so extremely overwhelmed by Iris' like superior performance that like precisely because of that reason that like Cynthia might have definitely been gotten share of like losing to Iris, and that will be the preparation for like Cynthia. Even after Cynthia used her mega evolution to gimmick to like precisely mega evolve her Garchomp and turning it to mega Garchomp, still like the Cynthia's mega Garchomp even having like a hard time against like Iris like normal hacks or like basically that might have been like the that final thing that made Cynthia actually realize that how much like she's like that Cynthia is like basically that Iris has way more potential than Cynthia, and the fact that Iris would definitely surpassing Cynthia might be something that Cynthia might have realized at that point. Was truly and fully realized at that point. It's definitely my person friend. So like in order to like perfectly ensure that Cynthia is able to like seize the victory over Iris like I'm delivering precisely due to that reason that Cynthia when Cynthia had begun her battle against Iris, Cynthia might have fought up against Iris like initially thinking of like basically fighting off like Iris, whichever gimmick that Iris will be using, like whether it's Demo or whether it's like Mega Evolution or whether it's like Dynamax or Dynamax. Like Cynthia might have wanted to like fight off against Iris' gimmicks with like Cynthia's gimmick. It's definitely my preference. So this might have been like Cynthia's plan. Initially, when Cynthia might have began her match against Iris, definitely my preference. But solely due to like Cynthia really underestimating Iris and completing like and due to like I feel like exceptional professional performance potential like completing Cynthia eventually was might have been only faced with the reality that they might have only gotten that reality check as to like how much Iris it has that all that potential and that Iris is definitely be eventually surpassing Cynthia. So like totally currently at that point while fighting up against Iris for Cynthia to like currently save her face and like ensure that she is able to like defeat Iris like Cynthia might have like changed her plan to let Iris have her gimmick and battle gimmick and face off against like Iris her battle gimmick and defeat Iris battle gimmick. That plan that Cynthia might have had, Cynthia might have given up on or it all and basically might have not only that way ensured for her. Cynthia might have been definitely afraid that basically she let Iris use her gimmick then they might have only figured that it would be like the remove of hacks or that would be like the perfect giving that Iris will be like patiently waiting to use. So like after Cynthia at that point might have totally felt afraid that basically if Cynthia even let Iris if Cynthia even let Iris as a hacks or use Iris use her remove of like her hacks or then Cynthia might totally lose against Iris. So like so certainly because of this reasons, India totally out of being like extremely out of like totally losing her confidence and out of like the fear of losing to Iris, like India might have totally ensured to prevent Iris from being able to like use her Zemo gimmick of her hat sort of, and that way solely in an extremely uncomfortable manner might be how like Cynthia might have totally seized her victory over Iris is definitely my personal impression. And that might have been like the point after, even though India had defeated Ireland, like India might not only felt that it was such an extremely undeserving and unsatisfactory victory for Cynthia, might be how Cynthia might have felt at that point. So, like, maybe it might be after precisely Cynthia's battle against Ireland that Cynthia might have precisely decided that basically the moment Cynthia would be like, and at that point, like Cynthia might have also realized that basically the competition is like basically way too tough for even Cynthia. That basically, and Cynthia might have also fixed in her mind from that point on. After Cynthia's fight against Iris, Cynthia might have probably had a feeling that Cynthia won't be able to like even most likely even if Cynthia makes it to like Leon, Cynthia definitely would be standing a chance of defeating Leon and all that. Like Cynthia might not only realize that at that point, on realizing that the true toughness of like the competition is definitely my person's remembrance. So like India at that point, after like India's victory over idols, like it might be, but after that unsatisfactory victory that India might have felt that India might have only decided that like Cynthia might have already decided that like it's finally time for her to like drop like her focus from like drop like her focus from like Pokemon battling and totally focus solely into like the Pokemon archaeological things and all that. Because like Cynthia might have realized that really soon without that the new generation without much delay that really soon would be like totally surpassing Cynthia. And like that would be something that Cynthia might have only realized after her fight against like Hyrule. It's definitely my personal brain. So like it might be after like Cynthia fight against Hyrule that Cynthia might have only taken the decision because like at that point like Cynthia might have been only confident that she's definitely not going to win this like entire tournament and be able to like defeat Leon definitely might be one thing that India might have felt. And so like India might probably decided that basically once like India would be like getting knocked out of like this tournament, like at that point, basically India would be like totally retiring and retiring from any sort of like official Pokemon battles. And India right now would be also planning on retiring from like the champion position of like the Sinnoh region as well. It's definitely my personal impression and to like and then to like focus full time on archaeology interest would be what Cynthia would be right now probably planning. It's definitely my personal intention. Yeah, so like since about the my personal intention and the only thing like Ash is like Pikachu as well as Lucario and the Cynthia of like Darkens and get like the main spotlight and was preparing for that to happen through a manner in which like initially I'm preparing Cynthia to only get like the upper hand in like the battle against Ash and I'm preparing and get to keep that up until like Ash should be finally sending out from like Pikachu and then the putting Pikachu by itself like would be like taking out bunch of Cynthia's Pokemon. So, like the scenario that I'm looking until like Cynthia would be down to her last Pokemon which would be like Lucario. Which would be like Garchomp. And like I'm bringing Cynthia's Garchomp would be showing up like Garchomp would be like usually only or for defeating Pikachu. And then sending out Lucario and then both like simultaneously Mega Evolve. Until then, I'm just preferring Cynthia to like not choose not to like Mega Evolve for the last option. And then like the Mega Capture versus Mega Lucario final showdown in this like Mega Lucario to be defeated Mega. Then with like the which is like the battle scenario that I'm just developing and my personal range right now. Okay, so like it doesn't leave my personal range right now. So that there's this like Cynthia's first Pokemon is like Spiritbomb of like all Pokemon. Like I'm preferring Spiritbomb to only have all sorts of unique and mysterious powers. You should listen to like under the development. Cynthia would be taking out not just like the Spiritbomb won't I'm just preferring the Spiritbomb to like not only defeat as a Dragonite, plus Pokemon Dragonite, but like I'm just preferring a Spiritbomb by itself, like taking out at least two or three Pokemon of Ash. Spiritbomb would be like painting it's definitely the scenario that I'm definitely referring. I'm not just the intention. That way, straight away, like Cynthia getting a huge lead on Ash as like the battle then begins with like the scenario that I'm referring and not just the introduction. And my percentage impressions definitely for like it being like precisely Ash's game character to be precisely for defeating what that will be finally succeeding in that boss for defeating like Cynthia's fifth boss, which like the scenario that I go through everything and my personal reaction. But still even before Gengar, I should be sending out I should be even thinking of like sending out just like Gengar, like even before that I should have lost at least two or three of Ash's Pokemon by them. It's like the scenario that I'm also developing and my personal okay, so like the main purpose of the direction right now is that basically like in the fight between like Dragonite and Spiritcom, like Dragonite won't be able to like use it's like Draco Meteor, not even one at all. It's like the scenario that I'm expecting. Exactly like how Cynthia initially itself like prevented and stopped Ash's Dragonite from being able to like use it like Draco Meteor, like using the set of punches like I'm preparing like the next time if like Ash even Ash and Dragonite even gets a chance to like launch Dracometer, then I'm also bringing to be most likely to like the move protect that that like a Spiritbomb will be having that and also Spiritbomb will be totally protecting and shielding itself from like the Dracometer attack of Dragonite. This is indeed my personal and as for like how Spiritbomb might take Dragonite down, I'm also bringing maybe I'm also bringing like the possibility of like Cynthia totally using like the combination of hypnosis and training up. Maybe that could be how Cynthia's quick form will be taking out the Dragonite. It's like an eventual possible scenario that endorses is already happening. And maybe like Cynthia being able to like even repeat that with like the next Pokemon as well that as should be sending out as well. There's also like an eventual possible scenario that endorses is already happening and not just the range. Okay, so like definitely my percentage impression right now is definitely for like active Dragonite to not be able to like wake up before like Spiritbomb would be like training out the entire capacity of like as Dragonite using like the three moves like the initial scenario that I'm talking about the thing. So like that way like Spiritbomb taking out like Dragonite and I'm going to bring Spiritbomb will be taking out one more of like the next Pokemon as well that I should be sending out at that point. Even that Pokemon as well, I'm also bring like Spiritbomb to precisely defeat exactly using this like precise frame strategy of like Hypnosis 3 meter combo. It's definitely my the scenario that I'm also going to bring. And it would be I'm also bringing to the most like the third Pokemon that I should be sending out that would be precisely Gengar. And in Gengar's case, like I'm also bringing like the scenario to be like precisely like Gengar's ability basically allows Gengar to precisely use Gengar 30% chance of like disabling like the opponent's move if like if the move makes direct contact. But that would be how like precisely Silverform would be getting brought down and defeated eventually. Like the eventual scenario that I was in. So like I'm just even when Gengar would be showing up like as will be eventually sending out to like Gengar. Even at that point I'm also trying Silverform eventually using the very same strategy of like it's also and range combination. But like I'm considering, India would be trying to attempt to do that very same combination at Gengar. But like I'm considering like precisely when and at that point I'm looking at the things India's pitch phone once again like even for like against like the third Pokemon of Ash, it will be precisely Gengar. And it's like the scenario that I'm looking at. India's pitch phone by itself like using the very same Hypnosis coordinated combination strategy taking off two of Ash's Pokemon before like and after that, that actually setting out with Gengar and again Gengar like Cynthia flex from like still succeeding in like eventually like using and landing, being able to land it like it's not attack precisely on even as Gengar and that's way as Gengar falling asleep. But and then Cynthia like ordering like once again ordering like her spirit form to like use spring meter. But like at that point precisely as like the spirit form will be using spring meter on Gengar like precisely at that point itself like Gengar like ability getting activated and basically with that ability having 30% chance of like basically disabling the opponent's like move like I'm trying precisely that way like Gengar even while fast asleep like Gengar disabling like the using its ability like disabling like the remake move ultimate move of like Cynthia is like the eventual Cynthia's kid bomb is like the scenario that I'm about to predict. So uh, and about the breaks India not even not thinking about like that. India might have only in like the heat of the battle, like India might have only forgotten about like Gengar having such an ability, like the eventual scenario that I mentioned and that way. Like without 3 meter, like I'm considering like at that point, like Gengar would be totally faster fully and Speed Bomb won't be able to like use 3 meter, but still I'm considering India totally ordering Speed Bomb to like use like a bunch of its like other attacks like Shadow Ball, etc. Is what I'm considering that Silverform would be totally launching at like the fastest lead Gengar. But like I'm considering as like Silverform would be like desperately attacking Gengar, trying to like take it out while Gengar would be faster lead. But like I'm considering still Gengar to like wake up. And at that point, I'm considering like Gengar, but it's like with Gengar having all that speed, like I'm considering Gengar totally like seriously attacking back and retaliating and attacking back with Spiritbomb and preparing Gengar totally about to take or for and defeat Spiritbomb is like the scenario that I'm preparing. But like at that very last second, I'm personally putting Cynthia once again like totally outsmarting at with like Cynthia totally ordering like her Spiritbomb to precisely use the move Destiny Bond and using that like precisely as like Ash would be totally thinking that like Ash would be finally able to like defeat Spiritbomb using Ash Gengar like that's like the scenario that I was thinking like Ash Gengar like using its like final attack whether I'm going to bring maybe it will be like a Shadow Ball attack and like anyway using Gengar's final attack when Gengar will be taking out like Cynthia's Spiritbomb like solely due to like the Destiny Bond move of like Spiritbomb Spiritbomb taking Gengar as well along with it as it would be fainting and I'm going to bring that way as this Gengar as well getting defeated and fainting. It's like the scenario that I'm going to bring. So like at that point Cynthia only losing a single first Pokemon alone on a Spiritbomb alone while Ash losing like three of the Pokemon is like the winter scenario that I'm looking for the bring in the reimbursement. Yeah, so like that will be my the reimbursement right now. As for like Cynthia potentially falling back, she'll precisely as like Ash was like about the sense of that Gengar. I'm going to try to use precisely because of like Cynthia only being able to like foresee and read like Ash and precisely as to like what Ash would be about to go next after losing having and losing like Dragonite to like the fight against like Spiritbomb. So precisely my personal impression that like Cynthia precisely using Spiritbomb in the like to say Cynthia would be having like even way more like a specific intent behind like using Spiritbomb in this like that against Ash definitely my personal impression. Cynthia's like the target would be like Lucario. So taking out Lucario is definitely using like the Spiritbomb is definitely my personal impression. So this is like Lucario like ultimate moves are all powerful moves are all fighting type moves and this is like Spiritbomb is like part those types of like Lucario and like they would be totally getting it all on like precisely using eventually being able to like use her Spiritbomb precisely against Lucario to precisely bring down Lucario using her Spiritbomb. Mega Lucario using her Spiritbomb. This would be like that precise strategy of Cynthia. It's definitely my personal famous. And my personal famous is that Cynthia precisely right now calling back her Spiritbomb would be precisely due to like Cynthia totally being a like read as and Cynthia might have totally expected like after like as of, like Dragonite being defeated by Fistform like Cynthia might have totally expected after like especially send out to like Gengar. So that Cynthia might have totally felt that the Gengar might give like Fistform a certain level of serious competition in like a battle. So like I'm going to bring to safety because of this reason like Cynthia since like Cynthia would be totally saving her Fistform safely to eventually use and possibly be able to like bring down Ashes like Mega Lucario uh, would be the precise reason for like Cynthia. And Cynthia would be totally expecting to that extent that precisely Ash would be like the precise gimmicks that Ash would be using against like Cynthia in this battle will be precisely Mega Evolution and it would be precisely Ash Mega Evolving to like precisely Lucario would be like something that precisely Cynthia would be able to like foresee. It's definitely my personal impression. So like that means like Cynthia would be either not foreseeing, but like I'm totally maybe Cynthia would be predicting in such a manner for Ash to do exactly that. It's definitely my personal impression. So precisely because of this reason, uh, Cynthia precisely quickly called back her spirit bomb after like right after defeating Dragonite. It's definitely my personal impression. Okay, so like definitely my personal impression right now is that like since Cynthia like planning her retirement after the process tournament, like Amber Master Day tournament, and considering like Cynthia right now would be like more desperate than ever to be able to like defeat Ash. To defeat Ash is definitely my personal impression, especially because like Cynthia would be like my personal impression that like Cynthia would be like after her battle against Iris, that might not only change Cynthia to the point of even deciding to like retire. Cynthia might have not right now seen after like seeing potential Cynthia might have not seen like a price future for Cynthia ahead in like the field of like Pokemon battling and like Cynthia might be also planning on stepping down from like the champion position as well, the senior region as well. It's certainly my Cynthia. So like Cynthia would be like real soon planning on is like real soon planning her retirement. Like Cynthia want to might want to like make it like make her retirement like into like a grand event where like India, even though right now the president India would be totally not at all even expecting her to be able to like defeat Leon. Still, my personal is that India would want to like retire after at least making it to like the finals and losing against Leon. It's definitely my personal reason. This would be what would be present in like India's mind and India's right now fighting up against Ash. It's definitely my personal reason. So like so that like her retirement would be like at least like she would be like only losing to like Leon, like the undefeated champion. So that like her retirement from like the battlefield will like look kind of like grand, even if she would end up losing to Leon. It's definitely this would be like the desire and plan of like India's definitely not the president. And it's because of this reason like for Cynthia, choosing a victory against Ash will be like more important than ever for Cynthia right now. Like winning this current fight against Ash will be something that Cynthia would be right now would be so extremely desperate for. This is definitely my consideration and prediction. So like definitely going to consider prediction right now. Basically that like India, I'm still sticking to my consideration that India might not definitely be able to read that database after like Dragonite defeat, like Ash might definitely send out of like Gengar. So like for instance, Cynthia even sending out right now sending out the also raid against like Ash of Gengar would be might be a conscious decision by Cynthia, but like I'm considering that to be like totally be like eventually ending up being like that absolute totally costing Cynthia like the percent to an extent is definitely my personal ambition, especially because like I'm considered only the thing like definitely like Cynthia's also rate to like definitely lose against like Ash's Gengar, like the highly likely scenario that Ember will obviously. Especially because like Amber Super is like the only a remote possibility of like Cynthia's also rate even being able to like defeat Ash's Gengar, and only that remote possibility will be only possible if like basically Cynthia even uses like suggest Rotorade even uses its like stunt for and to so that way she suppress paralyzed as a Gengar, and if it's through that paralysis that like since I'm considering it to be only through such paralysis that basically of Gengar that basically Rotorade would even be able to like not only outspeed but like be able to like to basically much against like as Gengar or even possibly even defeat as Gengar. It's definitely my consideration. And even with like Champ for running and that way paralyzing Gengar, I'm still sticking to my consideration that Gengar's defeated by the hands of like a Rosa Raid. This like at least likely scenario that I'm considering. Like my consideration is definitely highly likely for like Gengar to only or for and defeat the Rosa Raid of India, like the scenario that I'm considering and I'm considering. Okay, so like definitely going to considering the right now, for like Cynthia straight away falling back are also right as soon as it getting burned by the windows. Like I'm considering like due to the already definitely due to that has lack of focus, that focus kind of like a situation that Cynthia will be in right now, because like Cynthia is definitely not considering because that Cynthia right now would be only distracted, and with that the whole his like whole thought being scored in her head being like full with like the thoughts of like her retirement and her being wanting so desperately wanting to like retire by fighting and putting up a great match and losing to like Leon like that being like how precisely Cynthia badly wants to like see her retirement be in such a manner. So like basically in order to achieve that like she should she Cynthia being so extremely desperate to win against Ash, but like considering like that to that extent they are totally putting on like a lot of stress as well on Cynthia as well. So like from Cynthia's point of view, like losing to Ash and basically that way Cynthia has to retire would be like totally extremely unsatisfying for Cynthia, exactly like how Cynthia's victory against like Iris might have been totally unsatisfactory, extremely unsatisfactory for Cynthia. Like I'm considering losing to Ash as well, and then having to like retire as well would be like a similar situation for Cynthia would be along the lines Cynthia would be thinking. So like that extreme desperation to like see the victory against Ash and the whole stress of like retirement and everything would be totally affecting Cynthia's performance. Is definitely causing Cynthia to totally lose focus on her battle against Ash and basically current battle against Ash and basically to lose all that focus and be distracted, and why like probably Cynthia would be like I'm considering Cynthia might have only made the wrong choice. Like Cynthia might have not wanted to like send out her Roserade, but like it might be against like Ash, a grass poison Pokemon like a Roserade against like the poison both Pokemon like Ash Gengar, but this is totally but it might be due to that lack of focus and concentration and that distraction of like Cynthia that Cynthia would be in right now would be might be in right now would be might be like the reason for like Cynthia most likely having like picked the accidentally picked most likely having picked might have picked the wrong choice and that they send out her Rosa Red against like Ash Gengar, and hence why like Cynthia already right now like straight at like a Rosa Red even getting burned by like the willows like Cynthia straight away even calling back her Rosa Red is definitely my to reason. So like this correct is going to like anticipating this of retirement but they're anticipating like throughout like Cynthia this Ash battle anticipating right now to totally affect Cynthia's performance. Definitely continuously like the scenario that I'm anticipating right now. And I'm anticipating Ash totally calling out Cynthia on her like unusual performance in her battle against Ash. It's definitely my this is like my particular impression that I think like Ash has fought against Cynthia in the past. Like so like I'm considering like the current battle performance of Cynthia against Ash. Like Ash was totally noticing like something like strange and Cynthia totally that battling Ash in like an extremely unusual manner. Um, unusual and maybe weak manner, maybe along the lines Ash was getting and basically and I'm also bringing Cynthia to like keep shooting like even like way more like than Ash would be sitting out his Pokemon. Like I'm also bringing unusually like eventually like I'm also bringing unusually like Cynthia sleeping on like switching out uh most of her Pokemon that she will be sending out with like for like minor reasons like the scenario that I'm also bringing Cynthia continuing the pattern of like repeatedly like often switching out her Pokemon is like the scenario that I'm also bringing until Ash will be finally calling Cynthia out on and asking Cynthia as like what's wrong, like what's up, and basically calling out from Cynthia's like unusual battling strategies is like and extreme switching of her person and all that, and calling Cynthia out on that, and basically then Cynthia totally feeling as if like she has other, and then at that point I'm the super Cynthia totally explaining to like as the middle of the Cynthia was as well like I'm the super Cynthia totally explaining to as how Cynthia's desire, how she wants to like retire, she's planning on retiring and she wants to retire by fighting against like after like fighting against Leon. Like basically Ambassador Cynthia totally revealing that to Ash, and Ambassador Ash being like the teacher, like all of a sudden like the scenario that Ambassador and Ash advising Cynthia, and Ash telling Cynthia that basically like right now it's not like it's like you should be thinking of like that Cynthia right now should be thinking of Leon at all. Like right now Cynthia is in a battle with me, Ash, and basically that way around the line Ash saying, and basically right now Cynthia should be focusing on that there should be in like the present in like the battle that's taking place in like the present with like as, and basically India should be right now what India should right now be doing would be not thinking of her retirement, but like for should be thinking of like focusing on like her battle right now against Ash, and basically seizing a victory against like Ash and giving it her everything against Ash. Like that would be what Cynthia should be thinking, right? Only thing is that should be like the only thing in left Cynthia's mind right now, and the only thing that Cynthia should be thinking right now would be along the lines I'm about to bring Ash totally telling and advising Cynthia. It's like the scenario that I'm about to bring, and I'm about to bring Cynthia totally like being a bit insecure, but still I'm about to bring Cynthia like totally being able to understand and that Cynthia at that point not letting her ego get the best of her and basically get in the way, and basically not letting her ego get in the way, and about when Cynthia totally understanding Ash, and basically Cynthia realizing that Ash is right, and I'm just bring the scenario in like Cynthia from that point on I'm just bring like the tide of the battle to change, and I'm just bring Cynthia from that point on like stopping her like repeated often switching of the Pokemon, and I'm just bring from that point on Cynthia's performance like returning back to her old self, old kind of performance, yet like I'm just bring even better. In a even better manner Cynthia would be performing against Ash, and I'm just from that point like the scenario that I'm just bring, and then I'm just bring uh, still I'm preparing as the only repeat India, but still I'm preparing at that point like India would be like actually feeling satisfied due to that speech that I'm preparing eventually I should be like telling mid battle like India like that opening up India's eyes, and basically Cynthia totally like realizing that it's not about like retiring once like on fighting against like Leon or anything, like it's about like being able to like deliver like give her absolute everything into a fight, and basically that is what uh, would be giving her that absolute satisfactory feeling that, and uh, so they are maybe like that way realizing that, and basically even though they would be losing to Ash, like they are happily retiring from like the her position as like a champion of like the Sinnoh region, as well as like in all official Pokemon battles like Cynthia retiring. It's like at that point it's like the scenario that I was thinking, the scenario that I was referring to. So like basically it's just about the very impression that it would be slightly Cynthia like extremely distracted mind and lack of focus that would be causing Cynthia right now. So like basically while Cynthia had initially assisted out her Spiritbomb against like Ash when Ash sent out her Gengar to like right now once again like Cynthia sending back her Spiritbomb precisely against like the very same Gengar from Ash. So definitely my good emotion. And right now with like the whole dazzling gleam attack of Gengar versus like the sucker punch attacks of like the Spiritbomb, like I'm also bring both attacks being super effective. Still, I'm also bring both Pokemon to like certainly survive. Not only Spiritbomb, but like Gengar as well to like only survive. It's like the scenario that I'm also bring. But like I'm also bring like, and I'm still sticking to my very impression that basically even though right now I'm totally like confident that like he and it's like Gengar is not going to fall for like the hypnosis 3 meter combo strategy of like uh, of like Cynthia and her Spiritbomb again. Like I'm also bring definitely once again, like Ash, totally for Ash and his like Gengar totally once again falling for the precise hypnosis 3 meter combination of like Cynthia's Pitfall. It's like the scenario that I'm looking, but like the only thing that would be saving Ash of and that way Ash Gengar like as well totally falling asleep is like the hypnosis attack landing on Ash Gengar, like the scenario that I'm looking, but like significant amount of the remembers that the only thing that will be like saving Ash's Gengar won't be like any of like Ash's strategies or brilliance, but it will be only Gengar's like ability of using the which like basically the Dream Eater attack when the Spirit Bomb will be using the Dream Eater attack at that point on Ash's Gengar, it will be getting precisely disabled, and that being like the only factor and like the key that which would eventually be allowing that Azure Gengar to be able to like eventually totally overpower and almost defeat like the Spirit Bomb of like Cynthia, but like still empowering Cynthia to totally turn things around by potentially using like the Sneak Bond of her Spirit Bomb, and that way Spirit Bomb taking Gengar as well along with it, and basically that way both Gengar as well as Spirit Bomb fainting it's like the initial scenario that is sitting on to another Sundari impression. Okay, so like definitely when the Sundari impression right now with like Ashes like Gengar as well defeated, like I'm just right now once like actively sending out this like third Pokemon, like even Sen as well, I'm just totally different. Cynthia totally calling back straight away, calling back her Spirit Bomb. Like the scenario that I'm just totally different and my personal impression. And then consider developing maybe just maybe like for facts will like eventually be able to like figure out that it is as for like the precise reason for like Cynthia precisely saving her kid bomb and like for this calling back her and ensuring like the safety of her precise kid bomb like they had to eventually possibly figuring out that basically it's especially because of like Ash's like Lucario like that basically Cynthia precisely saving her kid bomb especially for Ash's like Lucario considering like even still I'm considering only a remote possibility of like absolutely being able to like figure that out. It's like considering that might be definitely the reason for like India saving her and finding her like subsequently saving and ensuring the safety of her spirit bomb was definitely my personal impression. So like I'm considering maybe that that's the case when Ash like I'm considering maybe that's only figuring that out and I'm considering so Ash using his own strategy and Ash precisely precisely with like the intent to precisely take out like Cynthia sitcom like Ash straight away deciding to like send out the like Lucario even before like Ash won't be like even though Ash might have initially planned on like using it like Lucario turning into like Mega Lucario and basically using it towards like the very end like I'm considering Ash purely re-strategizing and basically Ash deciding to like take out ensure to like take out like Cynthia's like uh, Spiritbomb, and in order to do that, like I'm considering as totally using adjustment strategy and logic, and I'm considering as deciding to like as totally being confident in and thinking that confident or confident and thinking that basically she is going to like take out and defeat like Cynthia's like Spiritbomb using his like Lucario or like by Mega evolving it like maybe such scenarios like also like a remote kind of a possibility that I'm considering, and that way as trending out with like Lucario and Mega evolving it like and I'm delivering in that battle like I'm delivering Lucario Ash using like Lucario's like steel type move and maybe using those steel type moves like as if like Mega Lucario taking out Cynthia's like split bomb. It's like and I'm going to bring like Mega Lucario since like I'm going to bring like Mega Lucario might have been like Cynthia's target right from like the point when like the Cynthia's battle like as might have even began like I'm also bringing like since like even if like once like actually sending out this Lucario eventually and even Mega volume it like even then like I'm also bringing taking out Mega Lucario being like too tempting of like a possibility that like for instance yeah deciding not to like fall back her spirit bomb and that way like spirit bomb trying to like attack and or and stick with like the Mega Lucario but like that attempt totally backfiring with like Mega Lucario totally Ash totally calling out all the steel type moves of like the Mega Lucario and basically that way using the steel moves like Mega Lucario like overpowering and the defeating like Spirit Bomb. This is also like an eventual possible kind of like a remote kind of like a possible scenario that I'm looking at on like eventually and the and my documentary is that like it's that the if that's the kind of scenario then I'm going to bring like precisely after like Ash would using it like Mega Lucario would be taking out like the Spirit Bomb of Cynthia straight as soon as that would be done like I'm going to bring Ash straight away calling back it's like Mega Lucario and Ash would be like continuing the initial strategy to like precisely use his like Mega Lucario as his like last Pokemon to precisely take out like Cynthia like a Mega Captain, which Ash will be totally expecting both Cynthia to be totally using as her like last Pokemon or ace Pokemon as her last Pokemon. So like Ash as well would be having those strategies with like Ash much which like Ash might have even started off this battle against Cynthia as well, especially my brother. And according to that initial strategy, like Ash might be totally betting on like basically bringing down like Cynthia Mega Garchomp using like Ash's Mega Lucario. So because of that reason, like after like Mega Lucario might be like defeating and like the spirit form, like Ash straight away falling back to the like Mega Lucario. Like also like an eventual remote kind of like a possible scenario that ends up or different game of the yeah, so like the thing that I'm present right now is that like since like the current battle is between like Cynthia like focus but like Ash's like Pikachu. Secondly, according to my personal theory, since I'm personally only protecting for like Ash's Pikachu, so definitely gets a lot of spotlight and definitely Ash's Pikachu against like Cynthia and her like Garchomp or like Mega Garchomp, like the first two Pokemon that will be alone fighting against like Cynthia's Garchomp as well as like or like Mega Garchomp would be precisely according to my personal impression would be precisely Pikachu as well as like Lucario and Mega Lucario. Like I'm considering because of this reason I'm considering right now definitely for like Ash's Pikachu to totally defeat like Cynthia's Togekiss, and then I'm also preparing like Ash totally switching back and falling back to like Pikachu. It's like the scenario that I'm developing. After like Pikachu would be defeating like Togekiss, like Ash would be straight away falling back to like Pikachu. It's like the scenario that I'm developing. And the next time Ash will be sending out like Pikachu would be uh precisely during towards like the ending of like the battle when Cynthia would be totally down to her last Pokemon, which will be Garchomp. So we only at that point that action, and at that point, specifically my personal mentioned that it would be just like Lucario as well as like Pikachu alone that would be remaining, and it would be like against that first from of Cynthia, like as would be sending out with like Pikachu the next time, in which like Pikachu would be totally losing to Garchomp. It's like the scenario that I'm considering. Even though Pikachu like electric and Garchomp was like a past ground type, like still I'm considering Ash being in like such a situation where like Ash will be only having like Pikachu as well as Lucario alone. So like I'm considering Ash totally using like all sorts of trying to use his own strategy by using like Pikachu's like speed to precisely maybe confuse like Garchomp and then like to somehow like stealthily land really be able to find an opening and trying to like land attack Garchomp using like Pikachu's like Iron Tail like Ash using like around such a strategy to then that way trying to use this like Pikachu even though Pikachu won't be able to like, use any of its like electric moves against Garchomp, still Ash trying to take advantage of like Pikachu's like Iron Tail to like do some sort of like a certain serious damage to like Garchomp, but still that attempt totally easily backfiring like Garchomp totally easily offering and defeating Pikachu. It's like the eventual scenario that I'm representing. I'm not representing. Also, like the second person you am question right now has for like how exactly like as Pikachu will be defeating to their first case. Like I'm just different like even though like Pikachu will be having like a whole lot of like different kind of like type moves. Like I'm just different like it's just like a single steel type move that like as Pikachu have like all the remaining moves of electric type moves. What I think so like even though Pikachu is like an electric Pokemon, it has all the like electric type moves. Like and while like on the other side, Togekiss is like a flying Pokemon. Like I'm considering still that it wouldn't be definitely no, it won't be through Ash's like Pikachu's like electric type moves attacks that I'm preparing like Pikachu would be like defeating Togekiss. But like I'm preparing it to be especially through that single Iron Tail Steel type moves. Especially like Togekiss with like also being like a fairy type as well. Like I'm preparing like to be precisely through that single steel type like iron tail move that I'm preparing. It should be like eventually landing on Togekiss. And I'm preparing maybe of like as using like this like electro web strategy to like precisely eventually trap like and that way like stop like the extremely fast Togekiss like it's eventually like Ash and Pikachu like succeeding in like basically trapping Togekiss using like the electro web attack of Pikachu and then most likely Pikachu is jumping up high and then really landing it like Iron Tail attack and taking out like Togekiss like preventive scenario that I'm considering on the brain. Definitely I'm thinking about the mention that they should definitely keep not Pikachu's electric attack, but it would be perfectly Pikachu's like steel type and tail attack that will be taking out and defeating. It would be like that final attack that will be taking out and defeating like the Togekiss. Just like the mental scenario that I'm looking at the brain and I'm looking to so wait, so like these are the reaction right now as for like Cynthia's like switching out of tickets as well and sending out her gas for loan like I'm considering right by now like definitely I'm considering has to be totally sped up to the extreme of like Cynthia's like extreme repeated like switching of her Pokemon, open switching of her Pokemon. it's definitely my personal impression that as to be totally fed up of it that basically I'm preferring as totally even though none of Pikachu's electric attacks will be even working against the ground type of Gastrodon. And even while Ash has a remaining I think like three Pokemon are like a remaining still they don't everything Ash solely due to Ash being so and absolutely totally fed up with Cynthia's critical switching and delivering Ash totally deciding to not at all switch out with Pikachu. That's the scenario that I'm delivering and I'm also putting Ash totally Ash Pikachu totally defeating Cynthia's gas form. And I'm also bringing into the session through Pikachu Ash totally taking advantage of the all that extreme speed up speed that Pikachu have when compared to Gastrodon just things like that from movie extremely slow and Pikachu being extremely fast, I'm considering and totally taking advantage of that. And also I'm considering one Cynthia would be ordering for Gasparon to use either stuff or muddy water attack. Even then I'm considering Pikachu activate only the strategy that I should be telling to Pikachu would be to completely charge straight towards the attack of Gastrodon muddy water, whether it's muddy water stuff, and basically to precisely jump up and dodge that attack precisely at the last moment, and precisely so Pikachu dodging up high, and then accidentally telling Pikachu only uses Iron Tail and precisely land that Iron Tail on precisely Gastrodon from all that height. So I'm delivering with that intense due to gravity and all that precisely that Iron Tail having zero level of strength. And about the bring still it's not taking a single iron tail of Pikachu to be able to bring down Gastrodon. And the bring it in kind of a similar manner as totally as the Pikachu totally using multiple iron tails, totally taking advantage of all that superior speed of Pikachu and using multiple repeated iron tails on Cynthia's Gastrodon until Cynthia's Gastrodon will be totally fainting. It's the scenario that and if she's getting defeated is the scenario that I'm going to play. And Cynthia would be solely not falling back her Gastrodon solely due to Cynthia having that extreme or confidence when it comes to the case of Gastrodon fighting against Pikachu because of Gastrodon being a ground type and Pikachu being in type. But still, I'm considering it to be the iron tail of Pikachu that would be only outsmarting Cynthia and her Gastrodon and repeated iron tail attacks from Pikachu totally Pikachu offering and defeating Gastrodon the scenario that I'm considering. And then Cynthia would be the next Pokemon. Cynthia would be sending out Bulbous precisely her Togekiss and after the uh, at that point, Ash should still keep on using to Pikachu and I'm considering Pikachu to also fight also to only or and struggling way to and defeating even the Togekiss as well. Upper Gastrodon Pikachu also simultaneously even defeating the Togekiss as well of Cynthia. It's the scenario that I'm considering. And after these two battles, I'm considering Pikachu totally being extremely exhausted. So at that point I'm considering would be when Ash will be perfectly deciding to fall back to the Pikachu. And that way Pikachu being called back by Ash. It's just preventive scenarios that I'm only putting right now. I'm going to remember. Okay, so definitely my the impression right now was Cynthia's right now sending out her Spiritbomb yet again. I'm bringing and so the current battle between Cynthia's Spiritbomb versus Ash's Pikachu right now also definitely right now so something for Spiritbomb to not be able to succeed as a Pikachu. I'm considering definitely for Pikachu not losing to Spiritbomb and definitely not a scenario where Pikachu would be losing to Spiritbomb and quickly falling back Pikachu before it faints by the hands of Spirit Bomb. That is certainly not a scenario that is happening. And Pikachu fainting by Spirit Bomb and getting fully defeated by Spirit Bomb is definitely not a scenario that I'm developing. Definitely because of my earlier theory itself that basically according to which I'm developing Pikachu should definitely be present towards the very end of this battle and to be fighting off against the Sharp of Cynthia is definitely according to that theory, definitely my cooking grand that it should be either Pikachu totally or scoring and defeating Cynthia's Spirit Bomb. It's one possibility that I'm going to bring. Or the second possibility is basically for Pikachu totally eventually totally or scoring and seriously or scoring Cynthia's Spirit Bomb and potentially Pikachu will be about to land its final attack and take out the Spirit Bomb. Cynthia at that very last second falling back of the Spirit Bomb and that way Spiritbomb once again being safe. It's it's either going to be one of these two possibilities. Certainly, my reasons uh, according to my person theory, I'm personally only putting Cynthia precisely ensuring that as well safety of like Spiritbomb to and to have as well that to like ensure that Spiritbomb stays like doesn't train too precisely to eventually like the precise and consequently to like precisely to eventually use it against the Megalithario. This would be like their plan, especially my personal impression. So like especially because of the reason like I'm going to bring either for like Cynthia to precisely call back her spirit form precisely as it would be eventually overpowering and starting to seriously overpower like the spirit form. Or like the other possibility to basically like Spiritbomb actually like totally contrary to like Cynthia's expectations, like Pikachu actually totally overpowering and defeating Spiritbomb before like in an extremely unexpected manner for Cynthia before like Cynthia would even be able to like call her precious Spiritbomb back. It's either going to be one of these two possibilities, like in like being like in the scenario in like the battle between Pikachu versus Spiritbomb. It's definitely my personal impression. And my personal impressions were like if Pikachu defeats state forms, then Ambassador only things like Ash to like after like Pikachu defeating state form, Pikachu actually being like extremely exhausted and Ash straight away falling back to like Pikachu at that very instant like scenario that Ambassador only protect. If that is it under the conviction that like if like the scenario is like Pikachu actually succeeding in like defeating state form, definitely my personal impression. And if instead like the scenario ends up being like Stone being called back by Cynthia again, like before like Pikachu will be able to like totally defeat Spiritbomb. Then I'm preferring Cynthia would be totally sending out her Sogekiss and it would be Pikachu totally overpowering and defeating Sogekiss. Would be what would be that happening, and then at that point would be when like Ash will be calling back this Pikachu, like the other possibility that I'm putting on and not in the reference. Also, like my personal prediction of for like Pikachu versus Spiritbomb battle, like basically in that battle, like how exactly my personal prediction of for like how exactly has to and his Pikachu would be bypassing and get past like the hypnosis, ultimate hypnosis of like Spiritbomb. And also probably bring like definitely an Ash logic and Ash unique strategy where like I'm going to bring Ash would be totally telling his like Pikachu. Firstly, I'm going to bring without much delay, like I'm going to bring like the Spiritbomb using it like hypnosis on Pikachu. And at that point, I'm going to bring Ash totally using this like Ash logic and Ash strategy using with this like I'm about to bring like Ash will be only telling his Pikachu to like use Thunderbolt on itself to telling Pikachu to like shock itself, use the Thunderbolt attack on itself so that like that hypnosis won't be able to like that way put Pikachu into sleep. It's definitely that would be like how like Pikachu constantly shocking itself while like the hypnosis attack will be landing on Pikachu and that way like using that as Ash which is like basically Ash totally bypassing like the trap of mental hypnosis. Ash and Mystical to bypassing the trap of hypnosis. And then about the straight away most likely Ash using it like in a thrower on like the confused like uh, spirit form and basically like that way like the electro and that way like the electro but that like totally landing on like spirit bomb at that point and spirit bomb totally being trapped and like straight away like then Ash and Pikachu like using the ultimate like Ash totally telling Pikachu totally using it like ultimate thunderbolt attack on like spirit bomb with like everything Pikachu would be having and basically but that like Pikachu would be like taking out like the spirit bomb. This is like one possibility that I'm looking for the and with that attack, like basically, like Kirby finally being like fully defeated and fainting. It's like only one possibility where I'm working. The other possibility is basically Pikachu succeeding in like landing it like in a thrower and trapping Kirby. But still, like precisely as like actually ordering like that ultimate final Thunderbolt attack, and basically as Pikachu will be about to launch that, about to land that ultimate Thunderbolt attack on Spiritbomb, and that very last second, like uh, precisely like Cynthia holding back Spiritbomb, and that way solely due to that act of Cynthia, like Spiritbomb still being able to like still being able to survive. It's like the scenarios. It's like the other possibility that I'm making. In that way, like it could be either one of these two scenarios. Like name my possibility. Okay, so let me name my possibility impression right now. As for like the fact that like Pikachu was able to like Pikachu was like launching its like an forward but like yet like precisely like Pikachu was able to like dodge like the sucker punch attack of like Pikachu members. Bring it really solely due to like Pikachu as a Pikachu being like as a Pikachu and as Pikachu alone being like that extra special Pikachu that exactly like as Pikachu alone being like extra special that it can alone like choose like Zeno that doesn't like that any Pokemon can thoughts like basically electric type. We know that Pikachu alone have that basically saves faster and ensures to like land the opponent target Pokemon, like exactly like how Pikachu used that undodgeable like B-move attack, electric attack against like the Metagross of like Steven, like I'm preparing. So this will be one among those extra special thing that Pikachu alone would be having. Like as if Pikachu alone would be having, which using with which like as if Pikachu alone is able to like dodge like a priority move like Sucker Punch while Ash's Pikachu was already like about to use its like improve attack, and yet like Ash's Pikachu alone being able to like dodge like a priority move like Sucker Punch will be precisely due to like the exact extra special thing that Ash's Pikachu alone will be having is definitely my person to remember. Okay, so like definitely my person to remember right now as for like the mysterious dance move that Spiritbomb used before getting hit by like the ultimate Iron Tails move of like Pikachu, and that's for me to be precise. That mysterious move that Spiritbomb used will be precisely Destiny Bond. It's definitely not looking very so like definitely my looking impression right now. It's definitely for the scenario to be like basically Pikachu using that ultimate and tail attack, like taking out like a Spiritbomb, and that only nailed the thing that basically has have finally taken out like Spiritbomb. But like right then like that is happening for Ash and like uh using due to like the destiny bond like Pikachu as well like painting along with the like Spiritbomb like the scenario that and that was a perfect right now and my particular impression. Okay, so like definitely my particular impression right now is that like the entire would be like right now maybe assuming that Ash has taken immeasurable damage by just losing his like having his like Pikachu's defeated, getting defeated. It's definitely my particular impression, especially because of like Ash having fought all sorts of battles leading up to this point without relying on his like Pikachu. And also the like the current situation, even if like basically like the Ash only lagging behind that Cynthia by just only a single Pokemon. So like Ash I think has only lost three Pokemon while Dianta has while precisely Cynthia has lost two Pokemon. So it's only just a single Pokemon difference. Like I'm different especially because of this like Ash is not even in any sort of extreme trouble. It's definitely my top thing. Especially since like Ash has been like in way more like difficult situations in like Pokemon battles where Ash was like down in like to like a way greater disadvantage yet like Ash having proven to be able to like turn things around like definitely like basically right now with like actually his three Pokemon while like Cynthia having lost two Pokemon she wouldn't be even like at least still at all for Ash at all definitely my Pokemon emerged as well as like Ash and Pikachu like being defeated as well would be like not much of a deal for Ash. Certainly, my cousin very much. But it is like Ash having fought and won all sorts of battles in like the past without even relying on Pikachu. It's definitely my cousin very much. So like India only like naively or totally assuming that basically it's like in this Pikachu is like such an extreme immeasurable damage for Ash and all that. It's definitely my cousin very much. Also like the clinic and the emphasis that like the answer would be also assuming that basically like as that basically Ash exactly like in like previous battle against like Steven Ash might have been totally planning on using that very same undodgeable, inescapable, extremely powerful and extremely special, extra special remote of Pikachu in this fight as well of Ash against like Cynthia. Might have been what like naively Priyanka might have been assuming especially my personal emotion, but that when in actuality my personal emotion is definitely that like Ash might have only even showed up to this battle to fight this battle against Cynthia with like sacrifice and conscious intent to like precisely use like the gimmick of Mega Evolution to precisely like Mega Evolve its Lucario and fight off like that ultimate battle. Use by using it like Mega Evolve to like fight and overpower and defeat and take down like the Mega adoption of like Cynthia. So it's definitely my personal premise. And the plus I think that Ash has even showed up to like battle against even Cynthia. It's definitely my personal premise. So like losing Pikachu won't be even that much of a big deal for Ash at all. Okay, so like definitely my personal impression that basically even like the announcer as well will be totally like falsely overhyping like the current situation of Ash with like actually think it's like Pikachu. It's definitely my personal impression to like to totally create that false hype. It's definitely my personal impression. Especially with like the battle, the six versus six battle between Ash and Cynthia. It's only just midway and with like Ash only having lost three of his Pokemon, and Cynthia as well has already lost two of her Pokemon, with only just a single Pokemon difference, like basically, and with like the battle only having reached midway with like both Ash and Cynthia having more than enough Pokemon remaining to like to totally turn things around and turn the entire tide of like the battle. So like I'm preparing like the announcer, as the announcer would be for, so like basically the announcer will be most likely might be most likely trying to create this like false hype and like the false tension like situation. The like it will be like actually in actuality it will be like totally non-existent between both Ash as well as Cynthia. And and like the announcer will be totally doing all this to like basically to attract more ratings and viewership into like the or into like the master rate and like the Pokemon World Championship and everything. It's definitely just to like increase the rating is definitely my consideration. And Diantha might have totally fallen for like the announcers like false hype and false tension and basically Diantha might be like naively assuming that basically as has taken like, such an extreme immeasurable damage. It's definitely my consideration. And to be totally like Diantha not being as experienced of like a Pokemon trainer as she might believe she is. It's definitely my consideration. Also, like my passenger impressions that like that while like Pikachu is like the eighth Pokemon of as like still since it's like since usually it's like extremely rare for Pikachu to like in a battle that had to be in most of like the battle that had to be having like since it's like usually extremely rare for Pikachu to like take out and defeat like more than one Pokemon of like the opponent, especially because of this reason. Like this would be like the true extreme extent of like that sport hype that like the announcer of like the Pokemon World Championship would be like totally right now giving and making and creating to just to like boost like the viewership and rating of like the Pokemon World Championship. And as well as like this would be the precise reason for like this would also be like be like that absolute and extreme lack of clarity and assessment skills and observation skills that precisely the champion of like the Kalos region will be having when it comes to like as like an opponent trainer. It's definitely my person